Running away from the face of danger, they're running into danger to save us. And we all learned a big lesson that day that we need to thank them as well as our veterans for preserving our freedom. And that's exactly what this park was named after. The reason it has the name Freedom Park is in honor and in gratitude for both our emergency responders and our veterans who give their lives and give of their time, and their families give their time so that they can protect our freedom, and the freedom so that children can play and people can enjoy themselves, and we can maintain our quality of life here. And it really, I got together with Pat Hammond. Need to thank Pat Hammond a lot because Pat really had the idea of having the Veterans Memorial, and then it was just an iterative process, and we came up with the idea, let's make a memorial that recognizes both our veterans and our emergency service responders. And when Buddy, it just all came together, and it was a magic memorial. And I really hope that it will be not only a place for education to remember what happened on that day, a place for contemplation. I recommend that if any of you have time, I've made the time to look into who died, who was on Flight 77 that crashed into the Pentagon. It'll just absolutely break your heart to find the children that were on a National Geographic trip that had won a trip, and they were there with their teachers, with their parents, and the senseless loss of life that happened with that. And we need to remember that. And when we finally decided, I decided one day, doggone it, we need to get this limestone turned into a memorial. We've talked about it, and it was time to do it. And so I went to my friend TAB Bonity. I hope he's still my friend. And I said, Tab, we got to get this done. Would you help me design it? He says, you bet. And that's really where the heartwarming story starts, with the creation of this memorial, because every single contractor that we went to last fall in this horrible economy, and they said, you bet, we will donate our time and our materials. And so almost everything in that memorial was donated. And we need to thank those people that did it. Absolutely. Tab. And before I have Tab speak, I want you to think about the symbolism in these two memorials. I think that these basalt columns are like stone soldiers standing sentry to these people who lost their lives. And the more I've thought about what Tab designed there, maybe he had it in mind, maybe he didn't, but it still says this to me. What it says, it's almost like a hand lifting the stone in victory and in freedom after that horrible attack. And the reason that we do all this is because we are Americans. Tab.
Well, first I want to say how grateful I am that I got an opportunity to be involved in this, and when that opportunity came, you know, I did a few sketches of ideas, and this one won hands down with the group of the direction to go. And circumstances presented themselves where we really needed the community to pull together to make this come together. And so I made some phone calls, and like Tom said, it was the response was unbelievable. So I just want to go on record and thank everybody that was involved, and some of you can read the list that's there, but I'll go ahead and read it off as well. Alpine Metal Masonry did the Flagstone Plaza. Thank you, Chuck Ungaware. B&B Excavating provided the concrete and the road-based backfill. Thanks, Chris Brown. Braun Trucking did the hauling. Edwards Building Center provided formwork for the plywood formwork and fasteners. Garage Decor, concrete polishing. That's the final finish on the pyramid base. Thank you, Steve Conklin. High Cranes placed the support and the stone with the crane. Thanks to Kurt Harvey. Impact Graphics did the sign. They did an initial sign that was temporarily in place, and then they made the final sign here, the bronze plaque. Thanks to Fred McLuda. Mountain Home Corporation built the concrete base. Jim Meehan, thank you. Camarino Guzman and Arturo all pulled together to create that base. Nelson Electric did the electrical for the lighting. Thank you to Michael Biggs. Newkirk Engineering did the structural engineering for the base and the steel support, so that it was able to resist the winds that we're experiencing today. Thanks to Paul Newkirk. Noble Welding and Fabricating did the steel support fabrication. Thanks to Mike Klein. Paulson Construction, excavation, and plaza construction. Special thanks to Pete Paulson. He came out here multiple times, built the retaining walls, backfilled, came out here and filled it. They scraped it out so that it could be, the plaza could be built. I mean, Pete just went over and above, and thanks to his helper Daniel Marquez. Rocky Mountain Reaper Graphics did some printing and display, thanks to John Reinecke. Travis Nottingham provided the boulders. Triple H Construction helped with the plaza construction, thanks to Glenn Hagberry. And thank you, Bill Nutkins, at our office for all your hard work. And special thanks goes out to Tome Stone and Buddy Sims. Actually, I said I got on the phone and made some phone calls. Well, Tom and I both made some phone calls and got the people together that made this happen. Thank you all.